All right, let's rip the Band-Aid off. If your DTG shop isn't making money, stop blaming your printer, your ink, or, for the love of coffee, your customers, because, newsflash, it's not them, it's you.
Mo, you are absolutely right. You can have the best printer on the market, but if you don't know how to price your product, how to position your brand, or how to sell effectively, you're spinning your wheels. And honestly, that's where most people trip up.
Yup, every time. I mean, let's be real, I've been there. Early in my career, I blamed everything under the sun for why my stuff wasn't selling. The market's too competitive, my designs aren't flashy enough, yada yada. You know what I realized?
What was it?
And it was me. My whole approach was a hot mess. I wasn't pricing things right. I wasn't really thinking about, telling people why they should even buy from me. It was like, here's a shirt, please love it like I do. Doesn't work like that.
That's such a common trap. Business fundamentals are really what it boils down to. DTG printing can be insanely profitable, but it's all about understanding what your costs are and making sure you're building a solid pricing structure around that. And branding, absolutely crucial. People have to know who you are, why you're different, and why make the switch.
Exactly. Look, folks, if you're still thinking of this as a hobby, just a little t-shirt side hustle, then you'll never scale and scale correctly. Period.
It's a mindset shift. The second you start treating your shop like a real business, tracking your costs, understanding your profit margins, capacity, volume, and thinking strategically, everything changes. But too many people ignore those pieces and then wonder why they're not seeing results.
But they keep blaming the tools, right? Like, oh, my printer's too slow, or ink is just so expensive these days.
Right? But those are just excuses. The truth is, until you get your pricing, branding, and sales game in order, no printer in the world is going to save you. It's like trying to win a race with a Ferrari when you've never driven a car.
Or when you're, driving with the parking brake on, same energy.
Exactly. So let's dig into the details, Mo, like calculating costs and profits. This is where things can really start to click for people. Speaking of driving with the parking brake on, let's get into the numbers. Ignoring costs is probably the first big mistake most shop owners make right out of the gate. You have to know exactly what it takes to produce each product. Otherwise, it's like driving blindfolded.
Right, and guessing doesn't pay the bills. So what's the first thing they usually miss?
Labor. Hands down, labor. Folks forget to factor in what it actually costs to handle the production. The time you spend pre-prepping, printing, quality control, prepping for shipment, and packaging. Even if you think, oh, it's just me doing everything, your time needs to count as a cost.
Yes, like your time has value. You think Amazon's dropping packages off for free, they're accounting for every second.
Exactly. And then there's the material side. Look, a shirt isn't just a shirt. It's the blank garment, the pre-treatment, the ink, folding and unfolding, counting, the packaging. Every little thing adds up. For example, if the total cost of a shirt is about, say, 10 and a half bucks and you sell it for 24, you're making 13 and a half in profit per shirt. But that only works if every cost is accounted for.
Okay, but let's be honest. How often are folks actually doing that calculation?
Rarely, and that's where they go wrong. I remember when I started my shop in my basement, I had this mindset that if I just kept printing, kept moving, the money would magically appear. It didn't, not until I sat down and really figured out my costs. That was a game changer.
Oh, you mean like spreadsheets on a Saturday night kind of vibe?
Pretty much, but it paid off. Suddenly I knew exactly how much I needed to charge to make a profit, and more importantly, where I was bleeding money. It's not flashy, but it works. Honestly, that's how I started scaling, by finding those holes and plugging them.
See, and that's the kind of detail people skip because what? They think it's boring?
Right? Or they think branding or selling will fix everything when the foundation, knowing your numbers, isn't even solid. You can't ignore your costs and expect to survive.
So, knowing your costs is the foundation, but let's talk about taking it to the next level. If you're still thinking of your shop as a side gig, you're never going to hit that next level and you will fail miserably, I promise. The mindset has to shift. You've got to start running things like an actual business.
And part of that shift means understanding that it's not just about creating cool designs, it's about building a brand. People need to know who you are, what you stand for, and why they should choose you over someone else. You have to provide a value added service.
Right, and branding isn't just about slapping your logo on some packaging. It's the whole package, your messaging, your visuals, the way people feel when they interact with your shop. You've got to look professional, even if you're still working out of your garage.
Exactly. And let's not forget about sales. Look, you can be the best printer in the world, but if you can't sell your product, it doesn't matter. Getting out there, marketing to the right people, following up with leads, those are the things that make a business thrive.
And sales is where a lot of people freeze, right? Like, oh, I'm not a natural salesperson. But here's the thing, selling doesn't have to be pushy or sleazy. It's just getting people to see the value of what you're offering.
Right? It's about education, not pressure. You're showing them why what you're offering solves a problem or meets a need, and that only works if you're confident in your product and your brand.
Confidence is key, and a little self-reflection goes a long way too. If something isn't working, don't double down on bad habits. Pivot, improve. That's how you shift from hobbyist to entrepreneur.
Exactly. And if this all feels overwhelming, just start small. Tackle one thing at a time. Maybe focus on your pricing this week, your branding next week, quality the week after. Build momentum.
Totally progress, not perfection, right? And hey, if you need some guidance or a partner to handle the heavy lifting, check out contract-dtg.com. We'll help you get those orders out the door so you can focus on building your brand.
You've got this. Take the leap, make those changes, and get after it. You might do something this way next week and find out next week a new method that still yields quality. You need to be willing, flexible, and motivated.
All right, folks, that's it for today. Thanks for talking shirt with us. Keep us posted on your progress. Send us those success stories. And as always, run your shop. Don't let your shop run you.